Welcome to the Lookdev department. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create material IDs in Maya to use in your Substance Painter projects. So I've often been asked by my students how to create material IDs for your own projects. You'll notice that if you use the meat mat or tiling sphere in Substance Painter, it already comes with those material IDs ready to go. If we click over into our texture set settings, it's just right here, and we can utilize it in the layers palette here. If I right click, add a black mask, right click in that, add a color selection, it then plugs in that material ID and I'm able to select colors to quickly mask between. So I'm going to pick color and it's going to change my viewport to bring up all of those colors. They are directly related to the UVs, as you can see over here. Whoop, want to pick that color again. So I'll add the green. And then if you want to, I accidentally added an extra one. I'm just going to remove that one here. So I'm going to pick a color again, and I will add the yellow. So now I have both of those selected, and they very quickly mask those out. But when you create your own new projects, they are not going to have those material IDs ready to go unless you create them yourself. So if we create a new project, file new, and I am going to select, I have just created this sphere as a test really fast. So we'll use all of the settings at default, click OK. Okay, so here is our sphere. If I go over to our texture set settings, there are no mesh maps existing. So I will go to Bake Mesh Maps, and it opens up a new window with the latest version of Substance Painter. I'm just going to leave everything at default and bake selected textures. All right, and then when I just click Return to Painting Mode. All right, so mesh maps are done. We can scroll through the texture set settings over here to see them. But we can see right here that our ID map is black. We can additionally look in our drop down here to our ID map and see it there. So let's jump over to Maya. So what I have done, we've got two spheres. All right, so here is my sphere low where I have applied my material. So I have sphere material here. This is the one that I loaded into Substance Painter. And this is what I've named in the outliner here, sphere high. Now, there is no additional geometry in actuality. We can click on the two and see that they have the same topology. That part isn't critical. They don't have to be matching a topology. What does need to be matching is the UVs. So what I've gone ahead and done is I created 3 Lamberts here, and I just used the swatch colors. So if I just click on color here and I select one of these swatches, this is what's going to get embedded in the model when you export it. So to apply it, instead of selecting the entire object and right-clicking Assign Material to Viewport Selection, what I've done is I've assigned by faces. Now you can select faces in Viewport, right-click, select faces here. You can select faces in the UV editor, which is actually what I did in order to assign these. So just select those faces, assign materials, and go through and set your textures so that they're separated in the way that you want to be able to mask in Substance Painter. So we'll export each of those. Export the selection as the sphere low OBJ, and then this one will export as sphere high. So now when we jump back over to Substance Painter, I'm going to X out this mesh map. Technically you don't even have to X it out to remove it, but I'm just going to go back into Bake Mesh Maps. All right. So right now, the only one that I actually want to rebake is my ID map. So I'm going to select, I like to call these the hamburger menu. Anytime you see the little stacks or layers, it's I like to call it that. So I'm going to deselect all mesh maps here. This is just a really quick way to isolate the ones that you want. And then I'm going to check on ID map. Up here in high poly parameters, I'm going to select my high definition mesh. And this is where I'm going to drop my sphere high. Okay. Now I do want to change this here, so low poly mesh suffix is underscore low. So I'm going to change that to be accurate because I do have it capitalized. So you want to be sure that you have these matching. All right, and now I'm going to bake selected textures, and we saw it flash there for just a second. Return to painting mode, and now we're still in our ID map viewport here. We can see now that we have that ID map just as we set it up in Maya. So now if we do a quick test, we're able to use those to mask between. And we'll just grab 3 materials here. All right, add a black mask, add a color selection, and we will pick a color. All right, so this one is now set there. Now we're still looking at it in ID mode, so we can just go to material. You can also hit M to go back to material. All right, now we'll set this one, add a black mask, add a color selection, and then we'll pick a different color. So now we have our 3 separate materials all ready to go. And that's all you've got to do. If you like this demo and want to see more like it, please like and subscribe. Remember to comment below and let us know what you want to see.